Ready? Okay. Hey! 3, 2, 1. I got to laugh right off the bat.
Oh boy.
Welcome to our first Clutchcast, everybody. Oh yeah. Let's see this Clutchcast intro. Huh?
Aha.
Clutchcast.
All right, in this episode, we're going to break down who we are, what we do, and what our plans are for 2024 and beyond. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
I am so thrilled to be here, Brad. Thank you for having us as part
you
of
for
your first inaugural, I guess that would be the same thing, your inaugural podcast?
Clutchcast.
Clutchcast?
Yeah.
What are we calling this thing?
What's the
Who
name
came
of
up
this?
with that?
Is that yours?
Clutchcast. No, wasn't me.
It's like a podcast, but it's Clutch. It's a Clutchcast. I'm getting
All
a
right.
phone call. I can't talk right now. So, enough with the chit chat. Let's get right to it.
This is amazing.
And cut.
All right.
This is amazing. We're off to a great start.
These fine folks with me here today are about a third of our awesome crew. We have a lot more who you're going to meet in the coming weeks. This is Jay-Z and David. But first, to let you know, we're going to start with David, our fearless leader.
Okay.
He's the mastermind behind all of our stuff. David, tell us something amazing.
Something amazing. I'm glad we're finally here. This has been a long time coming. So this inaugural Clutchcast, if you want to call it that, is really the culmination of many years of work to get us to a point where we can have this studio and the team, and I'm excited about what this means. So it's kind of a big moment.
This is a huge moment.
Yo, Cam's just licking his balls.
First off, he's not, because he doesn't have it.
Cam does not have balls.
But thank you from the corner of the room.
Yeah, so that's our first.
That's the 21 and
Cam.
under crowd over there.
Yes, exactly. That was a worthy interruption, though. Can you tell us who's next to you right there?
This is Jay-Z, who is employee, as we call him, employee 001, our director of production. I guess you're supposed to bring a fun fact or something.
Yeah, tell us something great, Jay-Z.
Fun fact. I feel like I could fix anything with a paper clip and some gum.
And I think sometimes you have done that.
Yes, on site.
For sure.
I like that. He's a MacGyver.
He is our MacGyver.
Clutch MacGyver, yeah, come and clutch.
Clutch MacGyver. Wonderful. Just so you guys know, if you had a bar mitzvah or a wedding between 2010 and 2018 in Miami, pretty sure that these two guys did it.
Yeah.
Videographer, photographer. How many weddings would you say you did in a span of 8 years?
How many days?
To a weekend.
Yeah, I
To
mean,
the
we were
math.
very busy at the end of there. It was a lot, and it kind of grew because of what we were doing. The quality of the work, I think, was just amazing. Also, like just some of the pro seamer stuff we were doing. We were doing stuff before it was kind of in. Things at the very beginning were like, giving people all of their photos, like it's some kind of like
Same day edits,
same day edits, but like this kind of stuff seemed like, today it's every day, no big deal. But if you look back to those days, it was unusual. Everyone charged extra fees. There was all kinds of things. The industry made money. You made money by hiring the photographer and then paying for each individual photo to have prints and stuff like that.
And it would take weeks, too.
Yeah, we would do, 8x10 was like $80 or something like that. It was like, for us, it was like $4 and change,
here
directly
you
shipped to
go.
your door.
Yep.
The goal was to get those photos up like immediately in people's homes and let them enjoy them and share them, and they would share the experience with their friends and family, and that's how we grew as a company. But I think those weekends got old for us a little bit there, right? I enjoyed it, but
you get into it,
Yeah, I
and
do.
the day goes by super fast, so that's always a plus. And I think we made a good team because we wouldn't even talk about some of these, our roles.
Yeah.
And we would just go into it, and we automatically knew what each of us were doing, and
whether
it was just
coverage or lighting,
muscle
or-
memory.
Yeah, we were very much in tune.
And then what was the transition to the next step? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I have a video background. I've been in the news business for 20 years, so I had experience in video. I'm a video first kind of person. The company started as just a hobby, and as it expanded, people started to realize that I had the video bug and I could do that. I wanted to avoid it because I like the hobby, I like capturing the moment. I like good going in the camera, good going out,
Right.
and then that's
Right.
it, the project's done. With video, there's 100 ways you could tell a story, right? And so it's all opinionated too, so I wanted to avoid that. But it pulled me in little by little. It was little projects that got me interested, and then the next thing you know, it was predominantly, it took over. And so we were working weekdays, weekends, you name it. So
I think video also offered a challenge because photography, we became pretty good at it. We obviously didn't learn everything because you never stopped learning.
yeah.
But I think just lighting interviews, rolling with different scenarios out there's the real world. So it's not a studio set. So you just have to learn how to improvise and just think on the spot.
Yeah, there's constant challenges that come up. So speaking of challenges, now we are in a new space, which is new to Clutch, new to us. What were some of the challenges getting into this space?
So we had always talked about having like an office, having some sort of space to collaborate. We were doing remote before remote was cool. It's kind of like what I like to say. Pre-pandemic, we all operated from our own homes, and so I think to be able to come together and collaborate and try new ideas and be, I was always looking for that. And right around the pandemic, we started looking right before, and we found this building that we're in today. And then I started to look around. I was like, man, this could really work for us. A space that's kind of central and big, and we're seeing a picture right now. This was the space when we first saw it, and you see Jay-Z there and give you a sense of scope. And he's wearing
The same clothes I have now.
no, he's wearing a mask because it's a pandemic at the time. This is October of 2020, and the outside of the space. I mean, it's a really unique kind of location to be able to have a studio. And we were only going to rent the first half, the first side of the right side of the screen there, and then we ended up leasing both spaces because we realized that there was a studio floor and a collaboration space, and a really great opportunity for us to pursue. And so that's my wife there and I signing the paperwork.
That bottle, I think, was in the fridge in our temporary office for
a
quite a time.
while.
Yeah,
a
waiting
while.
for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so to get into the space, you saw how it was very barren, and this was the goal, to turn it into this image. I hired an artist to kind of give us a concept idea, and it doesn't look exactly like this. Obviously, we made some tweaks as we went, but you see, there's a second floor there, and so it took a lot to be able to build this whole layout in the middle of a pandemic. You had construction. Shortage, you had
Delays of everything possible.
yeah, and then also the increase in cost for everything,
Yeah.
and just trying to keep it within budget. In general, I don't think I've ever met anyone that did construction and was like, it was on time and it was on budget.
easy, yeah.
Not another thing, but add a pandemic on top of it because we wanted to make it challenging.
Yeah, you guys love challenges.
Yeah, so it took us a while, but as the construction was going on here, we moved into a 1-bedroom. This is the view of our control room. As we're doing a live show, and it's aspirational. It's the garage. It was our garage kind of setup, and I don't think we realized how fast we were growing at the time.
Yeah. I've never lived in New York, but I feel like I can live there after working in that space.
Yeah, it makes sense.
1-bedroom unit with probably 6 or 7 of
Yeah.
us every day.
Let's just say we were all very close at the time working.
Know everything about even the bad stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys doubled in size.
Yeah.
in-
So yeah, it was in no time. I mean, we went from this small, just a couple of us, a few of us, working with a lot of freelancers, to actually employment. So you're looking at a picture now of the construction of the studio starting to come together while we were living in that, working out of that 1-bedroom, which was on the 14th floor, had a view of the pool. It was quite lovely. Everyone going to the pool while we're, hammering away.
Got a
on
lot of
things.
work done, for sure.
Yeah.
So at least I had a view. But I think we were ready to get out of there. We ended up moving to a 2-bedroom and then finally got into this space, which we're excited about. I hear Cameron.
He wants to chime in.
Cameron, come on over, buddy.
If you want to be part of this, just... Oh, now he's stuck.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
I'm sure he'll make an
there
entrance.
he
There
goes.
he
There we
is.
go.
What's up, buddy?
What's up,
Everything okay? This is
probably,
the company mascot here.
If there's a FedEx or a UPS person within 500 feet, he knows.
For sure.
The hair stand up.
He'll let us know. So, I think getting in this place, we got in here around June, and this has been, we've doubled in size in the last year, adding producers, production managers, shooters, editors, and I think, we're now 12 employees, which is a lot, and more than I thought we'd ever be, and 35 freelancers in the last year that we worked with.
Right.
So photographers, editors, you name it. So it helps us scale up when we need to and then scale back. And the concept is basically to have an internal team that really knows us and how we want things to be in terms of experience and quality and systems. And then we have people come in who are amazing at what they do at their craft, artists that are really bring a lot, and they bring their ideas and their concepts in, and we fuse the two, and it's probably the best thing that we get to do is just this collaboration. It's the thing that we were always talking about doing, and now we're doing it. So
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That's great. Full circle.
Yeah.
With that, bringing people in, that's kind of the idea of this space too as well. Can you guys talk about like the community collaboration with what you see this as in the future?
I think David has always reinforced giving back to the community, and he actually did that with me too. When I first joined Clutch, I didn't know how to, do some things in terms of technical, strobes, flash, that type of thing. And I've learned quite a lot in my tenure with Clutch. So I think now it's also giving back to the community, and teaching that skill to the future creatives of our world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very important that the next generation learn from previous generation, but also teach us. Like we get an opportunity to really take it to the next level, and it's a great time to be in this industry. Besides all the mediums to be able to share, the technology is just leaps and bounds. I mean, it's amazing to think about what we're able to do in this space. What we're doing right now couldn't have been done 5 years ago,
Right.
at least not without a multi-million-dollar budget to
Yep.
do that.
Like the gym we're sitting in right now.
Like the gym we're sitting in,
wouldn't be a
exactly.
gym.
And this doesn't just happen. It happens with, someone. Sure, we're of the mindset that we want to share, but there's also a lot of people pouring in energy and effort to this. I mean, behind the scenes, there's, Gustavo, you got to pull up you got to get your cameo in
Gustavo
here.
Gustavo Cam.
Gustavo Cam.
There he is.
He's
Tickling the keys
So fast.
upstairs.
We call him our innovation engineer, and he's one of the team that's working through all of the problems, and he brings decades of experience, and he's talking about stuff that only big networks could touch, are now small companies like us can touch, and we in turn can then share it with, whether it be an intern, an entry-level employee, a veteran employee, a small business. Like, we're able to reach them. It's not just American Airlines that gets access, or some, there could be a nonprofit. We've had nonprofits.
Forbes
in here.
500 companies, everybody has access.
Yeah.
Which, I love American Airlines, don't get me wrong, I'm glad you guys come here. But I'm just saying that it's really nice to be able to share it with the community.
Yeah, and so kind of tell us about client-wise, you guys are able to expand, contract based on the level of business that you have, but also now can bring people in here and not have to just go to them. Can you kind of explain that to the listener?
I think it was like a pain point.
Yeah,
But
I think
also-
I know the whole flight schedule for the outdoors for this area. It's every 12 and a half minutes
Yeah.
that there's a flight to
Probably less
somewhere.
than that, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being in downtown Miami, there's just a lot of noise and environmental issues. We know that a lot of our clients just don't have access to beautiful backdrops and controlled environments and whatnot. So it's nice to have this space where they can come in and sort of, we can take care of all of that, control take all those variables away, kind of thing. So this is a good example of that. The set we're on right now is a fitness studio. We're getting ready to do fitness classes in here with instructors and everything. And it looks like it's pretty substantial, but and it is, but it's all digital. It's not,
Right.
It's hocus pocus in a sense, which I think is just amazing because the opportunity here is limitless. If I had to put a time on it, maybe we spent 3 days working with the set total, which would have taken weeks to build, and can be tweaked like that. You can change the lighting, you can change the floors, you can change the objects in here,
Right.
which is just an amazing opportunity. And as we go through these clutch quests, I think we'll talk more about like that kind of stuff.
Right, get into the
opportunity.
particulars. I think, it's also worth mentioning that we're going to evolve with our clients. So sometimes we're going to find things that they might need that we don't know how to do, and we sort of have all these brains where it's like, if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to figure it out, and I know that I go to figure it out, and Jay-Z's already sitting there working on it and with his bubblegum paperclip trying to make it happen. So that's an important thing.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate it. So we talked about beginnings, we talked about current, a little bit about the future, but if you had to lay out 2024 and what our goals are, even just something to touch on very broadly, what do you think?
And my goal would be to keep working on exciting projects and just innovating and working with the team, expanding the team and more creatives, getting fresh ideas, fresh new projects. It's just merge into different, now we have the capability to have a set anywhere. And we didn't have that before. We either had to be on location and that's what we were given. Now we create that. So we have more potential for our clients and for our productions.
It's limitless.
Yeah, it's limitless.
I have to say, like, this moment is an example of 1,000 wins that we had this year and probably 20,000 losses. It really, there's like the ratio is way off.
Yeah.
And you have to work your way through it. And like, I would love to say that there's a great YouTube video out there that's going to show you how to do everything. And we've watched them all, and there is not.
No.
But determination, maybe a little bit of stubbornness, I think, to keep the course. You're seeing the 1,000 wins come together and what it makes. And it takes a little bit of like believing that we're going to get there and just keep pushing forward. Not just me, but everybody, because it takes that. If I were to do this myself, I would be, on step 5, of the 1,000 that we needed. So collaboratively, we were able to move to this place, and I'm excited. If you talk about the next year, like, I can't wait to see what the 1,000 wins on top of this is gonna be. I imagine that we all are gonna learn what we've learned. Like, there's a core group that knows a lot, right? And they're gonna share that knowledge with the rest of this team and bring them in, because we don't do that right away necessarily, because it's still evolving.
Yeah.
Right? You're still figuring out what is the right way. Is this, because if we do this, then it affects that. It's all connected. So I think in the next year, you're going to see more wins being built on that. Everyone's going to start realizing the opportunity. I'm looking forward to our younger group, here coming in and saying, you know what, I want to do this idea. I want to, how would I do this? And, us all coming together and saying, yeah, absolutely. Let's
go for it.
Bringing that new energy is important, and like you said, we're the older generation, so
speak for yourself.
right.
We still have some,
a little
something
bit
left in the tank.
Yeah.
So bringing in the young guys and gals to re-energize that is important. That's a great thing, and the community and all the other things that we touched on.
Did you freeze with a teleprompter freeze?
That was me freezing.
Okay.
I was just rebooting.
Brad does have some teleprompter PTSD, so.
Yeah, I've had some teleprompter issues, but only because of lack of experience.
Tell me about your first teleprompter experience. How was that?
Scarring. I was running. I was working on the teleprompter when you told me, all right, here's how you do it, here's what you do. I said, okay, this, that, I understand. I go, so who's gonna do it during the actual show? Because this is
live show.
rehearsal, a live show. And he goes, oh, have you ever done it? I said, no. He goes, oh, good, you are. And I lost it, and everyone saw me kind of freak out, and then went through it. Every time I freak out or have an issue, they're all laughing at me. So that's the support that I.
With you.
Like, yes, of course.
Yes.
That's the support and love that keeps me going.
I think that's also the clutch spirit that we enable everybody to, maybe push them out of their comfort zone here and there, but at the end of the day, we trust the team to get results and just learn new trades, new skills. Now you've done teleprompter a few times and you're great at it. And something probably you wouldn't have done in the past because it wasn't your area.
Out of comfort zone, and then when I finished that, I turned around and I told David that. I walked out of there and I was floating. I was like, I just nailed that. A second ago, I didn't know how to do it, and now I'm like,
Teleprompter.
can I do teleprompter? Let's do it. So you're right on, getting out of our comfort zone and learning stuff.
It's little things like that just kind of push you to do a little bit more. I have a kind of a belief that the world has a place for doers. There's plenty of talkers out there, but the doers are the people that I don't worry about. Like, they're always going to have work. They're always going to have a job. They're always going to have a place, because you need doers to get it to where you want to go. Yeah. And sometimes they're taken for granted. I understand that, but the doers are the people that I envy, because that is who shouldn't really be worrying about anything. They should just be living their life.
Go. Yeah.
Because when you can do things, you're gonna have a value, and all the talkers, they're gonna need you, because they talked a lot, and now suddenly
you gotta back it up.
They're gonna need someone.
Need a doer.
You need someone to come in clutch.
Yeah.
I'm also excited about this clutch cast, as we're calling it. I'd like to look back on this episode in weeks, months, years, and say, wow, look, the three of us were sitting here in our gym, and now we're leaps and bounds forward. So that's something that's very cool and good for reps and good for all of us just to kind of get involved. So that's our plan.
Next week we're in Hawaii.
Yeah, next week Hawaii. That's our plan in coming years. Anything else you guys want to add that we may not have covered as the plane goes over?
Yeah, speaking of planes, I think we are excited to use this technology and to keep learning its potential, and also the timing now. It's happy holidays. We should probably do like a Christmas wonderland. Actually, we did that already. So
yeah.
Got hit with a snowball. Fake snowball.
He takes a snowball well, let me tell you.
I didn't write that script. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk with the producer. I think it was you, Brad. Huh?
Yeah, I think so. I know that guy. All right. Well,
Good times.
thanks for joining us, and happy holidays. And I have to say, the like, click, subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the notification bell under the.
He's watched
I
a
think
couple.
that's one of those things.
Yeah, he's watched a couple YouTube podcasts.
Before you sign off, can you just, I think we should say, like, what's coming? Like, we have quite a cast of characters here.
Yeah, we do.
Right, and so I would say that, you're not gonna see our mugs all the time here. You're gonna be hearing from more of the team here. We've got some female power here as well
do.
that are amazing and
They
I'm
keep
excited
us
to
in
have
line
them.
for sure.
We've got some film buffs, we've got some photography buffs. We've got quite a collection here of people. It's an interesting collective. to say the least.
It's by far one of the best, if not the best parts of this, is everyone brings their experience in, and everyone has different things that they do well, and you're gonna meet a lot more of them.
Yeah, so if you're interested, if you want to nerd out on the behind the scenes, how we do things, I think that's going to be here. I think you also get to meet the team and get an idea of like what it's like to work here, to be in this industry, to work in Miami, I think it wouldn't be just if we just had this and we didn't share that, like, what's on the horizon.
Of course,
Pretty cool.
it's gonna get better and better each time. So
I hope so.
Next time, Brad's not gonna freeze on the teleprompter.
I was rebooting. You have to reboot.
Sometimes you have to reboot.
Yeah, so true.
Speaking of rebooting.
So true. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Awkward.
All right, play out the music. Ta-da! I bet it was longer than 5 minutes.